Ivan Toney scores on his return to Brentford. Arsenal finally get back to winning ways, and Liverpool go top of the Premier League. You're watching Foot and Mouth. Welcome back to Foot in Mouth. Ethan, how you doing today, bruv?
I'm okay. Yeah, it's been hot. But yeah, at least we're able to do the show.
Yeah,
we haven't been able to do the show because it's literally been too hot to do the show.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with this weather in Cape Town. And then even last night I thought rain was on the way, yo. But yeah, it's been hot. And there's a lot that's been going on in the world of football. Namely, Ethan, something you were speaking of before we started recording, Jordan Henderson completing his move away from the Saudi Pro League. He's gone to Ajax. Good move?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
It wasn't going to be Fulham.
It's a good move for everyone but the Saudis. Like, if I were them, I would not have let him leave. Same thing with Benzema. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You're not leaving. We paid for you for 2 years.
You're like, this is some slave labor shit.
We bought you. We own you, Henderson. You're not leaving. But I guess, yeah, Ajax are doing really bad, so they could use him for sure. And I guess Henderson gets to play at a decent team. I don't know.
On the Benzema thing, obviously the links still continue with him moving away from the club. But I did read an article that, or not an article rather, just a report that the whole Saudi Pro League want Benzema to stay regardless of which club. I mean, consider how much they invested in this guy. Like you're saying now, people have paid for these players, and within not even half a year,
6
you're
months.
getting a lot of them that want to start to just jump ship immediately.
And also, it's really not a good look for the Saudi league as a whole.
Not at all.
Because, this is basically all a PR stunt. And this is completely negative PR by seeing these players like Benzema and Henderson literally say they would rather be anywhere but here.
Even the Firmino reports, Bobby Firmino apparently also wants out.
Yeah, no, look, this is the complete opposite of what the Saudis wanted. And I think they should kill them. No, I
doesn't see clones on the pitch. Benzema's not going to look quite like
random white dude.
Maybe this is why that teammate of Benzema's modeling everything.
Yeah, the one is
because the plan has always been
they just get some random white dude and he'll be Henderson. They won't even tell the difference. But no, I think if I were the Saudi league, I would they would not be able to leave. Like I would bankrupt these players if they tried to leave.
Damn, yo, I think obviously this happens in football. Adaptability is a thing. We saw it with who's that dude that went to play for Man City? Jesus Navas. When he was at Man City, they spent big on him, and within the first year, they let him go again because just general homesickness killed him, and he just could not perform. So they just sold him off again.
But the difference is Navas?
Yeah, Jesus Navas. Yeah.
He was in a team of good players. These Saudi teams is this is our one good guy.
This
is the one dude.
I just mean more down to if a player signs, even though he signs, if he's unhappy, let him go. I understand what you're saying, though. The league need these people to stay, but at the same time, I just feel like it's kind of the league exposing itself for why so many people, myself included, had doubts around how well this league's going to do.
We all had doubts, but there's a reason they paid these players so much. Now, to be honest, to me, this is more disrespectful than the LGBT stuff it is. To me, leaving the Saudi league is now more disrespectful than joining the Saudi league.
Nah, I don't know. I think you can join the league under a different pretense, and then when you there for long enough, you realize. No, I just mean you could go into it thinking, yeah, I can make this work, and then you live there long enough, and you realize I hate living here.
That's why they paid you so much money. The money was to make up for the shitty life.
But you see, the thing is that
shitty life
wasn't even a shitty life. They were earning hundreds of thousands.
No, but I just mean you can't do.
But yeah, I think if anything, the avenue would be like what we've seen players like Willian do and other players, where you just tell them, cool, let me go. You don't have to pay me out of my contract. I will just leave. We just keep it amicable and we hoy.
No, but the difference is I paid fucking 70 mil to Liverpool for you.
To Liverpool. But he is also an individual. He's a human being. And he clearly made a decision that, unfortunately, it's like if you join a job now, they sign you down to a year, you can leave. You just got to give notice.
You do have to give
Maybe
notice.
Anderson just gave notice. But
he didn't give any more than 6 months, I'll tell you that much.
6 months is more than normal notice. Now, it's going to be interesting to see this exodus that is happening. But I mean, there are still players on their way. On their way. And there's
also managers that are staying there. Gerrard's gotten a 2-year extension now in his contract, which is weird because Al Ettifaq are not doing well. I mean, Henderson literally wants to leave and he's the captain.
So I guess that to me, like on the outside looking in, that's a bad look on the league. I'm like, how are you going to reward someone that's underperforming? But like you say, they need the names. in the
And what do you
league, I
mean
guess.
reward someone that's underperforming?
You said you don't understand why he got the extension because Al Ettifaq's not doing well.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Again, yeah, it's just.
But they
PR.
just want the names.
Yeah, like I think even if Henderson and Benzema and Ronaldo, I think even if them all were terrible, they would still try and keep them.
Yeah, just because they sell some type
It's
of
PR,
t-shirts.
it's marketing. They still have to build this league up. But yeah, Gerrard's got 5 draws and 3 losses in their last like 8 games. I think they're like 8th or 9th in the log. And considering that there's only 4 teams that are directly funded by the Saudis, they shouldn't be 8th because Al Ettifaq is one of those 4 teams. So yeah, look, it's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of a weird one.
What's his name? You said Al Miran is apparently being linked with the move to...
Yeah, Al-Shabaab.
Al-Shabaab.
So basically, Newcastle are in like FFP gripes. The talk is they're looking to sell Trippier as well to Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich is linked.
So Al-Shabaab, you know what I found out? It's a little inside joke. Ever Banega is Al-Shabaab's captain.
When did he move there?
I don't know, but apparently he's leaving now. So
Damn, does Emery know? That was Emery's golden
Ever
boy.
Banega's like 34 now.
Yeah,
right?
he's super old. Okay,
but
I say that.
Okay, Hali, how old are you? But I think I don't know. It's a bit of a shit one because I mean, like stuff like this is kind of going to FFP shit is kind of going to stop Newcastle from becoming like a major team.
Well, unless they can.
How do you work around it? It's directly correlated to how much your club makes. So if you can't buy players to make the club make more, is the club going to make more?
Well, I think it's a system. Again, Arsenal have been self-sustaining. I know we obviously had more money than Newcastle before they got that influx of cash. But
also this whole new like FFP thing is kind of new.
Yeah,
City didn't have to deal with this when they became a massive team.
I agree, but that is also why I say the way you work around it is you. I know you're saying it's kind of shit, but that is the bottom line is you do have to sell to spend. So you've got stars, you got to sell one. And then you got to hope that you can invest in your academy.
But this is a new thing. So you kind of like, it's fucked because if it's too late now to become a big team. Because teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool didn't have to deal with this 10 years ago.
But do you not think that the signs were kind of there for like years before this new rule has like come into play? Like, I mean, there's no way Newcastle can say, oh, we were caught off guard. Like, for years now.
I'm not saying they were caught off guard. I'm just saying no team can become a big team now unless they all are already making money.
I think a team can. Look at Aston Villa. They literally have had this come up in the midst that they've spent over 100 million. They're still within financial fair play rules. They are now a Champions League contender.
Yeah, but they're not gonna fight Man City for number 1.
Maybe not yet, but the thing is, just to your point, there is opportunity. Brighton buys a bunch of unknown players. They turn into stars. They sell them for profit, and they can still stay competitive.
City didn't have to do this. You're literally making these other teams jump through hoops that teams 10 years ago didn't have to jump through.
But they are still having to work through these new hoops now. Like we're seeing City with all these 100-odd allegations against him now. Like we're seeing Newcastle, like we're seeing Everton get charged twice in one season. Like we're seeing Forest get charged now. There are ways to...
Again, though, the Everton charges were in the last like year, 2 years.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not arguing with you on how new
To me, it just, instead of having an FFP rule like that, rather just set an actual transfer limit.
Okay.
Let's just say the max you can spend on one player is 100 mil. That's it. You can't no team.
Look, I've been calling that for
no
a long time,
team, no matter how big, how small, can go over that limit, and that limit is there for everyone.
But the world of football has lost any opportunity of that happening now, bruh.
I know, but to me, that as a rule would make more sense than the rule that they have now. Because this is just going to keep the small teams down. Because how can you get bigger if you can't buy big names?
Yeah, dude.
And how can you get bigger if you keep having to sell your best players?
I think that is also what adds to like the beauty of like football. Like there's clubs like, for instance, like a Sunderland or something, you know, where they've got this like really like passionate fan base, knowing full well, look, we're not going to win the Champions League anytime soon. But every time we get that gem, it's exciting for them to see that gem move on to greener pastures even sometimes.
But imagine how much more exciting it would be to win the league.
It would be much more exciting. But I think people they have realistic expectations because even like we're talking about clubs that are that have been dominating since when did Man United even start from? The 50s, the 40s, the
80s, 90s.
The 80s. Even if FFP wasn't a thing now, if you consider the run they had from the 80s, no club that's below them was going to start competing anytime soon.
What do you mean? Man City started competing with them. Man City is better than them now.
Yeah, but Man City came in with the oil money. I understand that, but I just mean in terms of the opportunity was there before for smaller clubs to come up, and nobody did it. Now everyone has started
but at
spending
least
more
there
money.
was the opportunity.
Yeah,
now
but
there's- now you don't even have a chance. You think Nottingham
I
Forest can
still-
become a top 3 team?
I think they absolutely can, bro.
Because even if they get bought by a fucking billionaire douchebag,
They're
he
gonna have
still
to
can't
work
put,
with
exactly.
limits.
He still can't put his
Yeah.
money into the team.
I still think that it can be done. Like I said, it's obviously going to be much harder, and I don't
much,
think that it's
much
ideal
harder. This is
for
gonna
any
take.
small
This is gonna
club.
take like generations now.
No, it won't, because it took Aston Villa 4 years, if that.
No, but this is the first time they're doing really well now. We'll see how they do next
No,
season.
it is.
Remember, when Gerrard was there last season, they're doing terribly.
Yeah, they were, and then when they got Emery.
this is less than 1
But
year.
what I'm saying is there are opportunities. They signed Diaby against all odds. Diaby is a player that people thought would go to a different club. Brighton have signed players that are like if you
Yes,
are.
you can't say they've signed. It's one guy.
I understand it's not just one. It's Pau Torres that they got
Arthur isn't that
Tielemans
good.
for free.
Tielemans is not that good.
You by all means you can say that, but when you put enough not good players under the right manager in the right club, they can challenge for a Champions
But I
League
imagine you
place.
could put good players in that team. They would probably challenge much faster.
I 100% agree. But I'm saying, like, your opinion is that they're not good. I think Tielemans is a hell of a good player. I thought he was that before he joined Aston Villa. Same goes
Yes,
for Pau Torres.
but he's not KDB, bro.
He's not KDB, but there is only one KDB.
Yes.
Even if there were other KDBs, there'd probably be one club that can afford him,
Yes, but
regardless of
he's
other
also-
clubs
he's
having the
also not Enzo
opportunity.
Fernandez. He's also not He's not Caicedo. He's also not
Again,
Olise. He's also not
all,
Eze.
all these clubs that even if everybody else had the opportunity, they did not have the money. Aston Villa could offer 100 mil for Enzo, but they didn't have the money for it. But Chelsea could. If Chelsea didn't have the limits, they probably could have bought Enzo and some other dude for 100 mil, and some other dude for 100 mil, and some other dude for 100
Yes,
mil.
which is why I'm saying some FFP rule does need to be applied,
Yeah.
but this one seems to keep the small teams down.
I guess. I agree to disagree. I don't think it keeps them down. I think it makes it harder. I think it absolutely makes it harder.
Dude, how are you expected? Like, it's already as hard as it is.
Newcastle can get 120 mil for Isak right now and use that money to strengthen a variety of positions to help them take one more step forward.
Yes, but then they've
and
also
then one more
lost a
step forward.
world-class player that could have made their team go from here all the
You
way to
absolutely
there.
have, but in this day and age, there are world-class players that are turning up every season and a half now, looks like it. And again, you look at the how Spurs is spending money now. They didn't buy world-class players.
Yes, but
look at the
Spurs
difference
also
those
isn't
players have
first on
made.
the log. We're literally watching
No,
them fall.
I agree, but I'm arguing the point
City
of...
is not going to get any competition in the next 3-4 years other than Liverpool
Look,
at this rate.
I'm arguing the point of... And that's a
Obviously-
lie. Last season, Arsenal finished second.
Yes, okay. Look, obviously the big Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Arsenal. Yes,
No,
they-
not Chelsea anymore. Chelsea have been flopping for the past 2 seasons.
Yes,
now.
but with the money they have, any given moment they could
Yeah,
turn
and
it
thank
around.
God for the FFP limits, because they don't have it that easy anymore. But I understand what you're saying in that you want to see the league open up a bit more,
Yes.
and with the current FFP rules as they are,
Yes.
that's not going to happen.
It's not gonna. It keeps the lower teams down.
Yeah, again, I see where you're coming from. I do
This
see.
is Man City's pool. This is Nottingham Forest's pool.
I do see where you're coming from. It's just I still think that even if Nottingham Forest end up looking at a dude that they can get for 20 mil, and Man City happen to get interested in him, they come through and say we'll offer 25, and Nottingham go, shit, we can't even up it by 5 because we don't have that type of money. And then City go, well, tough tits, bro. We got it. Whether the limits are there or not, these clubs have been going on for so long now. It was always just going to be an uphill battle for them. But I think that with these limits, there's at least opportunity, because the bigger clubs always need players, and these dopey teams always have 1 or 2 odd players that they can sell.
Yes,
it's unfortunate that they have to sell
You
them.
keep this system of, we'll take your good players. Give us your good players. You stay down there. We'll keep taking your good
I
players.
guess I've seen Arsenal
literally
sell.
creating a cycle of-
I've seen Arsenal sell everybody that was anybody, especially after the Invincibles era, and we fine. And we sold them for peanuts.
Yes.
Other clubs have sold players that are worse than our players for so much more
Yes,
money.
but again, Arsenal for decades have been a pretty consistent top 5 team.
yeah, I agree.
Nottingham Forest have not. Everton have not. All these other teams
agree.
have not. They don't have
I
that history.
I do definitely agree. I'm just saying, much like you want to say to players that, you signed the contract, suck it up. To all those other clubs, suck it up. You got to sell someone. Those are the rules.
No,
you got to sell
those
someone.
are the rules, but I'm saying they've stupid rules. That's my argument.
I guess. Let us know what you think of the FFP situation currently. The only thing that I want to see is free spending stopped. That's it. Whatever they want to do to make that happen, just stop free spending.
And then speaking of free spending, Calvin Phillips seems like there's interested from a few teams: Barcelona, Atletico Madrid.
That Barca one, that don't make sense, bro.
You don't think so? I actually think Calvin Phillips is a decent player.
I don't think it makes sense for anyone to be interested in a player that's barely touched the ball in like a year and a half, bro.
But again, it's the Man City thing. The fact that he was able to get through Man City's like academy, get to even starting a few games, even playing in the first team.
Before getting sold to Leeds.
Yeah, clearly there's levels. Because you don't play for Man City unless you are good.
Look, now Man City are looking at Douglas Luiz again, and he was a player that was in the academy that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, but he's a good player. That's why they want to take him back. So you don't get through that academy without being a good player. That is there's no doubt about it.
I don't know if Man City have like a praised academy, do they?
Cole Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, like now
Lewis.
we're starting to hear of like some prospects, but like you're saying, like
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz. But again, like Douglas Luiz, I'm not counting as a Man City prospect because he left before anything happened and he was developed by other people.
He went through the academy.
He was in the academy, but he could have been let go early, like Nketiah. Nketiah was let go at Chelsea when he was like 9 or something. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, well,
so I think I don't know how many cases there are like that because I know Chelsea also had a shit ton of talent in their young teams like Declan Rice, Eddie Nketiah.
Those are other teams with good academies.
Calvin Phillips, I don't know, man. I think it's bizarre, and even this annoys me. And certain clubs can just add a price tag because of. Did you see how much money Chelsea are valuing Broga at? They've slapped a £50 million valuation on him.
Yeah, it's too much.
50 mil. If he's worth 50 mil, then Eddie Nketiah is fetching Arsenal 80. I'm saying that now, bro. Like, some of these clubs, the way they evaluate the prices of players makes no sense. Have you seen what number is being rumored for the Calvin Phillips deal, at least? What's the fee?
I haven't seen anything.
But if it's anything more than 40, I'm like, nah, it's corruption.
I would think it's like 40, 50. I think he's got more potential than Broja does. So if Broja is going for 50, I'd say, like 40, 50.
How old's Calvin Phillips now, by the way?
I think 20 still. He's definitely in his 20s.
No
still.
way. Oh, 20.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like he's like a kid, like 20.
No, he may be like 24, 25.
Calvin Phillips, dude. Yes. I when he left Leeds, I really thought that he was going to go on to do some. He's 28.
He's kind of late 20s.
Nah, he's done out here, bro. He is done. He's going to keep getting England minutes, though, just because, as long as Southgate's there, at least. As long as Southgate's there.
And then obviously Christian Pulisic won the US Men's Soccer Player of the Year.
How challenging you think it is to win that?
I'm just surprised it wasn't Messi. They're giving him everything else.
Oh, that's true. They could have just changed his nationality.
I thought they would just give it to Messi. we just giving awards to Messi at this point. I'm surprised they didn't give him the best women's player as well. But I guess there is no other option than Pulisic, right?
That's what I mean. Like I'm sure there are some. Yeah. Like Balogun is an American now, but he's only this is his first season as an American.
Yeah, really. I literally don't think there's any other option.
Yeah, bro. But, I can't think of anyone in the US team that's actually like noteworthy. You know what I mean?
What is noteworthy though is Man United got a new CEO.
Yes, they did.
Omar Berrada, who was apparently the CEO of Barca and Man City back in the day.
Yeah.
What do both those teams have in common?
Corruption.
Exactly. So I don't know how good this is. You can also say they both have success in common because they do.
Yeah. Maybe he jumped ship because of the corruption at these places.
You think so? But again, he was there when the corruption was like at its peak.
But I mean, like, you know, maybe he was brought to his attention late on, and then he was like, you know what, guys, I don't like this.
But yeah, so look, there's a few ways you can look at it. Like I said, both Barca and City have been successful. They've both fucking cheated though. So you know, it's kind of a give and take. You could also argue he's jumping ship from a sinking City.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, once those charges do have to have a result.
Yeah, they do.
They can deny it for now, but at some point, whether you're denying them or like saying, yes, we did it, they are going to have, there has to be an outcome.
And speaking of outcomes, we got one for South Africa. Bafana beat Namibia 4-0 in the AFCON.
First win of the AFCON, eh?
I don't actually know.
I think it's the first win of the AFCON.
But look, apparently SA played well, but Namibia did miss a few chances. But I mean, yeah, go fucking...
Go Bafana, bro. Yeah. And again, still... Percy Tau. We know Percy Tau.
I don't.
You don't know Percy Tau? Okay, there's at least one name that I can say I do know. But yeah, for the most part, though, I still do need to step my game up in terms of Bafana knowledge. Now, getting on to Premier League action. And obviously, last week we did the first batch of games. This week was the second half.
Well, we're still missing a game tonight.
We're still missing one game tonight. Brighton versus Wolves being played tonight. But look, obviously, we said last week we couldn't do an episode. But we did do predictions. We definitely did our predictions. So shall we open with the predictions, Ethan? I actually don't know.
Did we write it down?
I wrote them down, yeah. I wrote them down. We were on 18-18 after the last episode. We were tied up.
Mm-hmm.
So for this batch of games now, this weekend, we had, starting with Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. We both predicted Arsenal wins. I don't think we could have been any more right. 5-0. Can't wait to get through that game. After that, we had Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. I said a draw, And I was very close. Ethan, you said Brentford win.
Oh, so I got a point.
And you got a point there.
Nice.
So, Ethan, you get a point. That's 19-18 to Ethan for now. Then we had Sheffield United versus West Ham. I said West Ham win. You said draw.
So good.
That was a crazy game.
So good. Again, I told you the West Ham don't have Kudus, they don't have Paqueta.
But no, in all fairness, West Ham should have won that.
Yes, I'm
They
sure.
absolutely. It was like
Sure.
I think Sheffield's equalizer was like a 97th minute penalty or something.
Yeah, but
It
West
was,
Ham also got a penalty.
Yeah, they did. But that's what I say. There was like 2 red cards in the
All
extra
I'm
time.
saying is the West Ham without Kudus and Paqueta are a much worse team.
Yeah, this is where you had a little bit of a dip. We had Bournemouth versus Liverpool. I said Liverpool win. For some reason, you thought a draw.
Because I thought Liverpool without
Salah.
they're missing no Salah, no Trent, no Endo.
Yeah. Yeah, but 4-0,
Yeah,
that
4-0.
was very, very convincing. And then tonight, obviously, the game that hasn't happened yet, Brighton versus Wolves. I'm going for a draw. You're going for a Wolves win. So currently, things that... What's it? You're changing your...
I'm kind of rethinking.
You're changing? Okay.
No. Look, I'm.
We did do these predictions like 3 days ago or something. So if you want to change your mind, you warranted to change your mind on this one.
Fuck.
I've gone for a draw. Brighton at home.
I'm gonna change. I'm going for Brighton win now.
You're going for Brighton win?
Yeah, I'm gonna change my mind.
Damn, going all in. So currently it's 2019. Not the year,
Is
the
that
score.
29? No, it's 21-20.
Oh, 21-20, sorry. 21-20 years.
That's the year. But yeah, let's start.
Let's start it off, bro. Let's start it off with Arsenal. 5-0. If we had put scores on it, I never would have put a 5-0 on it. I said before that I did briefly touch on that Crystal Palace are a bit of a bogey team for Arsenal, but
that doesn't mean anything.
yeah, RIP Hodgson. That was
Okay,
not
you
the
wanna-
performance he needed, bro.
And obviously, Potter was in the
Potter
stands.
was in the stands, and I said off cam, I think Potter in charge of Palace. It's a bit of a match made in heaven for me. I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't feel it's a match made in heaven.
Is it just because Hodgson's still there?
Yes, I'm sure. Look, I'm sure it's a good move, but I don't think Hodgson deserves to be kicked out. I think
For sure.
I think if he does leave Palace at this rate, it should be on his own terms.
Also, if he leaves, he should take Olise and Eze with him wherever he
You
goes.
should, yeah, no, you should. But I do feel bad for Roy. He's turned Palace into he's turned Palace into a very consistent Premier League team. Sure, they don't place high, but they're very consistent.
Yeah.
And there's-
Injuries haven't helped at all.
No, they
bro.
haven't. And there's teams that are out there like Burnley, Swansea, Luton. I can literally name you so many teams that would love to be in the exact same spot just
Yeah,
for Palace.
because those same clubs you can pretty much guarantee are gonna finish below them. So
Exactly.
whoever's in charge at Palace, they are good enough to get a top off, not a top off, but a mid-table finish, like a higher end of the mid-table.
But like you said, injuries, and I think they still have a very young team as well. I think we've literally only seen Eze and Olise play together like twice or thrice.
Olise is so good.
No,
bro.
he's so good.
He is so good.
But yeah, look, fans at this point are very unhappy. You saw the banner.
Banners, yeah.
So the banner. Well, if you didn't see the banner, the Palace fans had a fucking massive like 2-story
A
banner.
bit dramatic, especially when
Very.
you're losing to Arsenal at the Emirates.
And the banner said wasted potential on and off the pitch, weak decisions taking us backwards. Which is like, golly, you are playing Arsenal
yeah.
away
At the Emirates.
after a break. So Arsenal
Yep.
are completely. What the hell did you expect?
That's why I think it was so dramatic. That was
Dude,
not the game for that banner,
what
bro.
the hell do
I
Palace
think even
fans
Hodgson
expect?
was kind of just numb to it. Like, what is
Because
wrong with these people?
literally,
bro?
I don't know what you could expect. I honestly, I don't see
Yeah.
how you as a Palace fan. And again, the 2 goals came in like the last minute of the
Martinelli
game.
got 2 goals in 2 minutes.
Like
Literally, after he came on from
and
the
it was
bench.
in like the 90th minute.
So you could say straight up that the game could have ended, what, 3-0? Would
3-0,
3-0 would have been
which
more...
isn't-
well,
it's
that's
not terrible.
That's not terrible at the Emirates, bro. I know Arsenal have been on a downward bit of form, but... Bro, like I say, even knowing full well that Palace are a bit of a bogey club for us, I knew Arsenal were going to win that.
Yeah.
You didn't... The
There
Crystal
was no
Palace,
doubt.
they weren't going to the Emirates expecting a point even, bro.
Especially with their end, there was absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, it was literally because you saw in the second half of the game, especially they played attacking football. Credit to them. But again, what good is sitting back for 90 minutes if you haven't got the quality at the back that's gonna? You at least have Olise going forward, bro.
No,
like,
he's not. He's injured. They got Eze,
sorry, you at least have Eze going
and
forward.
Eze looks to be the only one who's actually putting in a shift.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, we got to talk about Gabby, another set piece goal. Arsenal keep getting set piece goals. I like that when Arsenal do have a set piece, they like use the set piece coach goes to like stand on in the fucking box.
There've actually been times when after a set piece goal, you'll see Odegaard go straight to him to celebrate.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, whatever he's doing, it's working. I wish he could like give some tips to United. And also, I have to talk about Jesus on the wing. I think he's much better as a winger than a striker.
Yeah, boy.
I don't know if that can, if Arsenal can just go buy Saka real quick and just
Yeah,
keep,
just before the January window closes.
just keep playing Jesus on the wing and having
That is how
Martinelli
he was
come
used at City. And a lot of people have argued that he should be used like that more often. It's just that it's tough when you got Martinelli and Saka on the wings and also Nketiah as your backup option.
Martinelli or Trossard as a fucking striker. It is literally
again, Trossard has been played there. Trossard has been played there and it's worked.
Yes.
But Martinelli, for some reason, Arteta is just allergic to the idea.
Dude, it is literally the easiest decision you could
Arteta
ever
is
make.
super allergic to that idea. We will never see it. I've convinced myself already that we will. Even if we do buy some top-end striker, Jesus is just going to end up getting rotated with Martinelli on the left wing, bro. That's how it's going to go. But I don't mind that. I don't mind that in all. I'd like to see it happen, but at the same time, I'm not losing sleep, especially when Martinelli. I mean, as an impact player, you can't ask for more. Dude came on,
can't.
And at that time, the game was already dead. Look, we dominated this game, bro. Like, even before the goal started flying in, we were in control. Like I say, credit to Palace, though, for opening up the game and trying to play an attacking game. But obviously, when you play like that against Arsenal, it's kind of our bread and butter. That's how we end up absolutely taking over. And that's what we did, bro.
Saka was robbed of an assist. Gabby was robbed of
a second goal, bro.
I think, look, Martinelli is really good. As a sub with that kind of explosiveness, he's going to kill if he keeps subbing on this.
If you bring Martinelli on up against any tired legs, bro.
But I honestly think start looking at subbing Saka, dude. Keep Martinelli on sub Saka. Saka has not had a great game in the past 3-4 games.
I think Saka's having one of those. He's having one of those seasons where it's like he's been silently like really good, like on the eye, because he's not at the centerpiece of it all.
No, okay, the thing is though, he is this. Every attack goes down his way. He is the centerpiece of it all.
Yeah,
it's
but
just not working.
I mean more like he like if anything now he's getting like the pre-assist. Do you know what I mean? He's not getting like the assist, and it's him pulling the space away that's opening up the opportunity. But because every game that he's playing now, there's at least 3 players that are man marking him per game.
And that's why you should probably bench him for a while so that teams have to start changing the way they play against you.
Yeah, fair enough. I just think he's too important to the team to bench, bro. He's absolutely too important to the team. I don't
know. I think when you 5-0 up against Palace, you can take him off.
Okay, yeah, 5-0 up against Palace. That much I agree with you. I think I would only drop him more for fitness rather than performance.
Which is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But also those two go hand in hand.
Like
they're not mutually exclusive. You can drop him for both.
The performance side of things, I'm still much like a Bobby Firmino or Darwin Núñez. I don't care if you're not getting the numbers. You being on the pitch is such an influence that it opens up the game for the rest of the team. Same as Jesus. I mean, yeah, he doesn't get the goals up top, but that's why I like him as a winger, because as a winger, I feel like you can do more damage in terms of being a thorn in the sides of defenders. You know what I mean? But yeah, like we said, Gabriel, Big Gabby at the back was robbed of a brace. What a game. I still think he's the most underrated centre-back in the league. Or probably one of. I'm sure there's someone I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, Saliba always gets all the flowers, bruv.
Ethan Pinnock.
Yeah, you shut it. Saliba hits. And look, Saliba had a good game.
Yeah, he did have a good
He
game.
just obviously didn't score what should have been 2 goals. Trossard obviously playing for us again back in the team. And he got a goal as well. Took his goal quite well. I just want to say Martinelli's goals, so Henry-esque. Like, both finishes was so Henry-esque, bro. And it's not the first time we've seen him pull that out of his locker before. In terms of the overall Henry-esque player that I would love to see at the club, while we're talking about strikers, Alexander Isak, pull through, my man. If Arsenal have the money, get it done.
It's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah, it's going to be at least 70.
You might as well just fucking buy Toney for that much.
I'd rather take Isak over Toney, though.
You'd rather take Isak?
100%. Especially because he's also, I think he's only 24 still. I think Toney's 26, 27. Okay. So I'm like, in terms of longevity and everything, and what we've seen from Isak is really good. Tony's got a much better injury record, though.
And also, what we've seen from Toney is also very good.
Yeah, Tony's
kind
brilliant.
Of single-handedly carried Brentford through a couple.
And obviously, we'll get onto the game for his return. But yeah, in this game, I think there's very little that you can pick at in terms of Arsenal's shortcomings.
David Zaya almost got an assist.
He should have gotten an assist, bro.
Yeah.
He should have gotten an assist, which is funny because Ramsdale should have gotten an assist in the other game before this one when he sent the ball through for Reece Nelson against Liverpool. But yeah, in your opinion, do you see this? This is something that Arsenal obviously have to keep consistent. I haven't looked at the run of games that are coming up, but I mean, I don't know if you watched. Did you watch the game?
Yeah, we were at work. I watched it on my phone.
You were watching. Did you see anything from, obviously, aside from Martinelli and Saka? Like, do you see Trossard making more of a push to be a regular starter?
Yeah, if they play my striker.
rather than Jesus.
Yeah.
So how would you line up then? Yeah. So are you saying you would rather start Jesus on the bench or start Martinelli on the bench, start Saka on the bench?
No, look, I think no matter which one you want to switch out, it's fine. It's kind of like Liverpool. No matter who you want to switch between Jota, Diaz, Salah, you're going to be fine.
I guess,
Nunes, you're literally going to be fine. Gakpo as well.
I think we lose too much without Jesus in the team, and we lose too much without Saka. That's why I said I think in the long term, if we do
I would say I think Jesus is probably more important. I think he works harder than Saka does.
Yeah. He does work harder than Saka does.
If you were to sub one just based off a work rate, I'd probably sub Saka.
Which is, I think you'll probably get big debate. Me, I'm subbing Martinelli all day. I'm not subbing Saka, bro. I don't think we can start without Saka. And again, Martinelli coming off the bench, I'm much more scared of that than I am of Saka coming off the bench.
Are you sure?
Bro.
Imagine Saka off the bench.
I can imagine Saka off the bench, but again, he'll come off the bench and he'll still get triple teamed on. So
by three tired dudes, bro.
Fair
who
enough.
Played a 90-minute
No,
game.
I agree, and I'd like to see it from time to time. It's just that I think Saka is the type of player where the longer he's on the pitch, the better, because once he feels out the game and gets into it, he just thrives on it. Whereas Martinelli, he's pure energy. My only issue with him starting is a lot of time his decision making is a little bit rash because he's just like an energizer.
But I also think that comes down to most of the attacks not flowing through his side. So when the few that do flow through his side, he almost feels like he has to overcompensate.
That may be it, in which case maybe then I'm just someone who thinks that he needs to get a little bit more mature about it. But I understand that he's a young kid. He wants to get forward. He wants to go. And if you do have limited touches on the ball, they want to play. So you're gonna want to make the most of it. But again, Saka's decision making is brilliant, bro. Like for his age, especially, his decision making is so good. And I think if you bringing on Martinelli against, like I said, against any tired legs, much like Saka, I wouldn't argue it against Saka either. I just think Martinelli is a different beast, bro. Like Saka's more methodical, and Martinelli is just sheer talent, bro. Like just he needed those 2 goals. We needed those 2 goals as Arsenal fans. And that
another team that needed goals though.
Yeah.
Brentford. And another player that needed goals, Toney, who scores 20 minutes into his return. Did you see the free kick when he moved the ball?
Yeah, I think I did love what he did when he wiped the line.
That is just... That is incredible that no one saw that.
I loved it.
That officiating is... Because there was a ref behind
No,
him.
I genuinely think people saw it. I think that was just the fact that it was Toney type thing. Honestly,
what does
bro.
that mean? If I'm the Forest players, I am shouting at that. Do you
you
see
mean the
what he's
players
doing?
that didn't? Okay,
I'm saying
fair
everyone.
enough.
There's multiple refs. There's a wall of defenders facing him. There's a goalkeeper that's moving his wall to block where the ball is. Is no one here saying something about that?
Someone's look. I mean, even when people scuff up the penalty spot, there are some games when people get called out for it. There are some games when everyone just goes, nah. It's so obvious all the time.
Look, again, even that though, I think it's less obvious because they're holding the ball, they're kicking it. Here, this dude is literally leaning down.
He wipes, he makes the line longer.
Literally moving the ball again. I don't know how no one noticed that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just knew straight up, what they gonna do, bro? I just came back from how many months ban?
Yeah, he gambles in the games as well.
Bro?
He gambles on those calls.
But no, it was dope to see him open the scoring. That was a hectic game. Bruh.
Yeah, it was. But I think Toney are exactly what they need, especially with Mboma and Wissa out. They kind of have no one else. I guess Maupay scored a nice goal. You see that he's like a control and volley turn.
I don't like Maupay.
That's the thing. I'm glad to see he's doing decent after his Everton stint because he didn't look that great at Everton. But and Regulon started today.
Speaking of Everton, sorry, I don't mean to backtrack. Did you see that there was talks about the sale of Richarlison and how much he was valued at versus how much Everton sold him for? Because they were going into like the mismanagement of funds and all that, and Spurs was bought him for like 60 mil, but apparently the valuation of him was 80. Like that was the floor. So they were like, why did you sell him for less? Apparently that was the valuation at the time, bro. And Anthony was valuated at 25 mil or something under Ollie's team. And then United spent 80 for him as well.
Again, that was United's own thing. They tried to buy him too late into the transfer window. Ajax kind of needed him, so they're just going to get a lot of money. That's a United thing. Sheffield United, speaking of United, were able to draw with West Ham 2-2. And like I said, West Ham without literally two of their best players, it's a different team. It's not the same West Ham.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Ward-Prowse got a goal though. Been a while since we saw him on the score sheet.
But there were a few weird ref calls because even the Nottingham Forest penalty, Areola, I would argue he doesn't touch McBurney.
No,
he basically comes out, punches the ball. I don't think he punched McBurney at all. McBurney did score the penalty though. And then late in the game, there was another call where Bowen kind of gets crunched in the box, like literally like 90th minute, and the ref says nothing. So it seems like refereeing wise, there were a few weird decisions. Obviously, there was a red card as well.
Two.
So
Just the one.
So look, you could argue this is just one of those games where the refereeing, where the decisions kind of just like it kind of ruins the game.
No, yes, there were 2 red cards. Sorry, one for either side.
Ben, what's his name? Ben Berreton Diaz. I think this was his debut.
That was his league debut.
His league debut.
Apparently, he
and
scored for them before in the Carabao FA Cup game. But he's on loan there, I think, eh?
I don't know.
I think he's on loan. But yeah, that was a crazy game. West Ham are going to be so frustrated that they drop points, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, the fact that they had to get a 97th minute, or not a 97th minute, sorry, that Sheffield, I'm losing my bloody words. Sheffield needed a 103rd minute?
Yeah.
103rd minute penalty. Like, they're going to be frustrated, bro, for a while after that. And then things ended off, at least for how far are we going with Liverpool-Bournemouth.
Yeah, obviously no Salah, no Trent, no Endo.
Yeah. And Nunes stepped up.
Again, so did Jota.
I always count on Jota.
You have always counted on Jota. But I think I did think this would be much closer, just based off of Bournemouth's form. They're also at home, and Liverpool are missing all these players.
And both teams were rested, really.
Yeah, both teams were rested. But I think I don't know if I said this earlier in the season, but I think this season Liverpool have the best depth in the league. I think when City got rid of Mahrez and Palmer and all those players, I think they kind of stepped down from having the most depth.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal have come a bit closer. But I just think you look at, even without Salah, the fact that they can still play Diaz, Gakpo, Jota,
they
Nunes.
stacked up top. They've always
attacking wise, they are
been
completely stacked.
I think they've got like 6 solid options.
And then even in the mid, they've got
McAllister, Endo, Szoboszlai.
And what's it that young? What's it the blonde dude? Harvey Elliott. They've got Curtis Jones as well. They've got
the one with the weird name.
Bacetic. I think he's at loan at Leipzig or some shit. But
they've
got a lot of depth in that team.
And they're not in the Champions League. That is the bit. They literally, if they lose, if they get knocked out of the Europa League. I think they're in the Europa League, no? If they get knocked out of the Europa League, they're not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah, they're not at all.
They're going gung-ho for the league this season.
But again, speaking of like new talent coming in, though, this Bradley dude who took place of Trent, I said it last week, he's very good.
Yeah,
I said it.
That's 2 for 2
He's very
now.
good. And this week he got an assist. I don't want to say it yet because I don't know how much game time he's going to be, but this kid could be a star. I've said the same thing about Kiki Palmer. I've said the same thing about Lewis Hall. There was one other player I said the same thing about.
Rico Lewis.
No, I didn't say that. But Rico Lewis Oscar Bob. He's going to, with a name like Oscar Bob.
He's going to the top.
But no, I think obviously once Trent comes back, he's going to play at Trent. But I think if this Bradley kid can get more game time, or at the least get loaned to a team where he will play, he's going to be good.
Well, look, either way, whether he makes the Liverpool team or not, Liverpool are going to get bang for him, bro. I remember when they sold Rian Brewster for like 30 mil and the dude had played like twice for them.
They will definitely get bang.
They're going to get
because again, I think
bro.
in these 2-3 games we've seen him play, he's kind of proved it enough. Kind of like Cole Palmer. We only saw him play like 2-3 games at City, but that was enough for teams to be like, he's good.
I suppose.
And then let's just touch on fantasy. You had a good week. You had a pretty good week.
I had an okay week. It would have been better
Obviously,
if
the week isn't done. You still have João Pedro.
Yeah, I've still got. He's the last player I've got to play, and I've also got 5 points sitting on my bench in Gabriel Jesus.
There you go. So, and how many points do you have right now?
I got 62.
Which isn't bad.
It was not bad. I didn't have to use my wild card. The Zine's already used his wild card.
And he's gonna kind of work out for him.
He killed it.
Yeah, let's talk about the Zine real quick.
Oh
so
my gosh! Look, he got Gabriel
and also Jota.
and Jota.
So off those 2 players alone, he kind of set himself up for a 69 this week. He still has his Stupinian and João Pedro to play. That's tough.
Yep. So the Pedro, I'm at least going to cancel out of him there, but Stupinian, but if they keep a clean sheet,
Exactly.
look, he already jumped over me. He is now second. But I just need to shout out Nathaniel.
Yeah, no. In these recent couple weeks, Nathaniel has like a few times picked up the most points in our league.
It's been a 3-horse race this whole time. All of a sudden, a 4th horse. He crept up, bro. And this week he's on 77 points as is. He also still has João Pedro to play.
And again, he captained Richarlison. I spoke to him in person, and I don't think that was on purpose. No. I don't think he changed his captain.
Oh yeah, you said he left his team.
So I don't think he left
forgot.
his captain.
He forgot when the yeah.
So he didn't. I don't think he meant to captain Richarlison, but goddamn Nathaniel, it worked out.
Yeah, Richarlison, Hoyland, Palmer,
also having Hoyland when literally no one else in the league has Hoyland
and Ward-Prowse.
That Nate, you've got the ultimate differentials in your team right
Like
now.
this was the most insane comeback week. Like, he's absolutely in with a shout now.
And then let's get on to me real quick because I've had a terrible week. Let's put it
like,
frank.
to be fair, Mo Salah being out does hurt you.
Does hurt me.
Mo Salah being out and having to work around Trent's absence also did hurt you before. McTominay being McTominay always hurts you.
No, look, and I'll tell you what also hurts me. Saka.
He should have gotten an
Because he
assist.
got an assist.
Yeah.
And then they literally took it away from him.
He
I
should've gotten an
was
assist.
so bummed out because if he gets an assist, he ends the game with like 8,
That
9
would
points?
have been at least 7 points.
Yeah, and then I'm ending the league at 50.
Yep.
So the week at 50, which honestly isn't bad. I know it's still 10 points below Razine and
But it
Logan,
makes
it's
a
not-
difference.
Exactly, it's
It
not
makes
bad.
a difference, bro.
And then also like, golly,
You still hanging on to the Alvarez, eh?
I know I am. Look, that's going to change soon. What's also going to change soon is fucking Cole Palmer, Kiki Palmer. I have to get this kid in my team. I've been putting it off because everyone else has him. I don't want to also, but he's kind of like Salah now. You kind of have to have him in your team.
I guess.
So I'm probably gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do this week. I don't know who Chelsea playing. I haven't looked at the games, but
Yeah.
I'm probably going to bring in someone like Palmer, maybe even someone like Estupinian because I still have Trippier in my team and Newcastle are still not looking good. I think they
big
play
ups to you
Chelsea
for
now.
You've turned your goalkeeper situation around just by adding
By putting
Martinez.
Martinez, yeah. No, I think because the nice thing with Martinez is Aston Villa at home are so good that you can
Fortress.
you can kind of bank on the home games. There's not many goalkeepers where you can be like, at least I know he will do well at the home game.
I mean, 9 points. He never just gets like a 6-point clean
No,
sheet.
exactly.
He always gets. Because the thing is, more often than not, if it's a clean sheet, he's the man of the match.
Yeah.
So-
But, look, attacking wise now, obviously KDB is back in DC. Do I bring in Palmer? Do I bring in KDB? City are playing like Burnley or something.
I just realized now that Razine has already used his wild card.
This was his wild card.
Yeah, he's used his wild card. So, yes, he did use it effectively. But
No, it was a great wild card.
But he hasn't got any KDB. He does have Haaland on the bench at least.
Yeah.
No KDB, no more Salah at all. Those are very expensive players to try and work back into your team with one free transfer a week.
Here's the thing with Salah. He's injured now and he's left the AFCON and he's gone back to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I don't see Egypt getting further without him. So if he doesn't play, I see Egypt getting knocked out, in which case I kind of see him starting for Liverpool in the next 2 weeks.
That's why I'm like, bro, as long as he's out of Razine's team, I still got my wild card. I haven't had Salah in my team this whole season, bro. Maybe now is the time. Because I feel like Salah has shown me week after week after week after week why I should have him in my team. And I never do.
Speaking of should have him in your team, maybe I should get rid of Saliba, bring in Gabriel. He's a bit cheaper and obviously he's more threatening on the attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, look, it's so tough. Even for me, just choosing a captain without Salah or Haaland, I don't like choosing a captain.
You should have. I'm honestly quite surprised you didn't go with Jota. I cannot lie, bro.
I don't have Jota. This isn't me.
Oh, my
This
word.
is Razine. Again, Razine he put Jota in his team.
Jeez, did he really have that? Yes. Yeah, he did.
I need to. I don't like having to.
Yeah, your captain choice is
I
what
don't
is
like
fantastic.
having to choose captains. I like having someone I know, like Salah or Haaland, who I can bank on. I can 100%. It'll be either one of them.
You honestly could have captained Martinez. That would have been 18 points right there.
Who did Villa play?
Villa played against
Everton. I didn't think they'd get a clean sheet, to be honest. At
I
Everton's home.
guess, but you had just said. Now I think for future we can remember if it's Villa at home. That could be such a nice cheat way to guarantee yourself almost 20 points.
I don't fully trust Villa's defense, and I don't fully trust Villa's defense.
I know there was one time when I captained one of my fullbacks, and they also like pulled me like 20 odd points. Like if you captain a defender and they get a clean sheet.
I'll tell you, it worked for Spons this week, though, who's got Virgil as his captain by default since the beginning. Liverpool obviously got a clean sheet.
I've got Virgil in my team.
Yeah.
But
a very interesting week in fantasy. Not my best week, but I think by the end of it, I'll still be on top.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, I think so as well. Razine is still some ways. We are both quite a ways behind you, in all honesty. But yeah, that about does it for this game week, which was a weird one because it was split into two. Like we said, there's still one more game tonight. Brighton at home versus Wolves. Ethan's gone and changed his prediction. Ethan's gone for Brighton win.
Yeah.
I have gone for a draw. I am 1 point behind you now. I gotta be right. Thank you guys for watching the show. I will catch you in the next one.